Another group of Bahamians now on the unemployment line, and the union tells us that the terminations were done without their involvement or consultation. The vice president of the Bahamas Hotel Managerial Association is calling this act illegal and strongly believes it sends the wrong message. Here's Shashina Rowe-Farquharson.
We don't know what is happening. We don't know what the board is doing.
Vice President of the Bahamas Managerial Association, Kirk Russell, hosting an emergency meeting with staff of the Grand Lucayan Resort after he says the union was made aware through staff members that they were terminated. But he contends that there was no communication to the BHMA that employees would be laid off and given severance packages, an act he says is illegal. He alleges that employees were asked by management of the hotel to come in to review the 13-week national insurance benefit, but instead they were fired.
The act speaks to what should happen. We were not given any information. So the only thing I could tell you that I was made to understand is that person whose NIB unemployment benefit would come to an end up to July 15th. I'm understanding that those individuals would have been the ones who would be severed this week. And then I was told by some of the staff who were not in that, because some of the staff who just went up to check, and those persons were end of July, August, and they were informed, at least that's what they told me, that they would be severed when they reached to the end of the road with their NIB. So we don't know what is happening.
The government purchased the hotel back in 2018 from Hutchison Lucayan, and since then the property has been managed by Lucayan Renewal Holdings Limited under the chairmanship of Michael Scott, who is responsible for operations and management. When asked how many persons were laid off, Russell contends that since the union was not consulted, he has no idea. He believes that this action by the government sends the wrong message.
We understand that a lot of hotels are not opening. Club Fortuna, other hotels, there's been no word on Grand Lucayan when that will open. There are only boutiques hotels open on the island. And so if we're talking about not whatever we're doing at Grand Lucayan, I mean, where do you go? Where do you go as a people, as a worker? And so Mr. Ferguson is very concerned. He is very concerned mostly about the process. He is concerned that this is the only government-owned hotel in the country, and if we set poor examples as to how we should follow the law, what do we say to Atlantis? What do we say to Bahama? What process should they take?
He says, based on his information, this is the first phase of the layoffs for the Grand Lucayan workers, and notes that it is imperative that the government meets with the union.
So that means the government is bargaining with the worker illegally outside of not only good industrial relations, but the law. The union is the sole bargaining agent for the worker. You don't have the authority to bargain with the worker. And so this is, if what I'm hearing, that the company has already engaged in separation of BHMA members, that is an utter disgrace and a crying shame, because you can't say to the private sector, follow the law, and you as government decide to circumvent the law.
Shashina Rowe-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.